Today I've got 3 quick tips for you if you're working with a builder.
Welcome to the Utah Homebuyers Quest podcast with Nelson Bartz. Our mission is to give you hope, knowledge, and encouragement on your quest for home ownership.
Housing affordability is at its worst point since 1986.
Higher mortgage rates are impacting Utah's housing market. Potential buyers out there being priced out.
It's getting tougher by the day to afford a home.
Many factors are making it very, very difficult with no relief in sight.
Homeownership may seem like an impossible mountain to climb in today's world. We're here to say that it is possible, and we're here to be your guide, to climb with you, to urge you forward all the way to the closing table. We believe in home ownership, and we believe in you.
Welcome to another episode. This one's going to be pretty quick. I'm Nelson. I'm a mortgage broker. I've helped thousands of people buy their first home, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to teach you and to walk alongside you on this climb, this quest for home ownership. So let's talk about working with builders. When you walk into a model home, they're going to be so kind to you, and it's going to be a great experience. But if you're not careful, you're going to overpay for that house, and it could be a horrible experience. So let's talk about my first tip is bring your own agent. Don't walk into a model home without a real estate agent who represents you. The agent who's in that home, in that model home, represents the builder. And no matter how nice they are, they have a fiduciary responsibility to get the most money and the best circumstances for the builder. That's who's paying them. If you walk in with your own agent, they have a fiduciary responsibility to you, plus the experience and probably the personality to negotiate on your behalf against that builder's agent. That doesn't mean it's going to be an adversarial relationship, right? But it's important that you don't go in without one on the first day, because you won't be able to bring your own agent later or add them to the deal. These builders are going to say, nope, we found you without that agent, and they're probably not going to let you add them in and start negotiating for you. Or if you do, they won't get a commission. So you need the agent with you the whole time, not just at the beginning when you're negotiating the contract, but throughout the whole build. Later, when they try to get away with something or they try to change something on you. I have a client, it was years ago, I had a client who they were in the process of building, and fortunately they had a great agent representing them. They went in to check the house, as you often do when it's being built for you, and they noticed that the wall in the bathroom where the tub was to sit wasn't plumb. It was actually crooked. And they pointed it out to the builder, and the builder's response was, oh, there's nothing we can do about that. And fortunately, their agent got involved and basically held their feet to the fire and made them fix that wall because she knew what remedies she had legally to make the builder perform and do what they were expected to do and to build the house well, right? I remember when I built my first home, and I hired a contractor independently. I didn't have a realtor. I just hired a contractor. And I remember my mom telling me, you got to hold those contractors' feet to the fire. And I was like 24 years old. Contractor, had built dozens and dozens of homes, very experienced, very savvy. Fortunately, the contractor that I had was a great guy. He was very, very easy to work with, and when I asked him to do something, he was more than willing to fix it. But I want to ask you, if you were to walk into a situation like that, and you asked a builder to fix something, and they said no, would you know what to do next? And especially if you're young, if you're new to the home buying process, if you're new to contracts, I would highly encourage you to have an agent who does know what to do next and how to make sure that your interests are protected all the way through, even to the closing table, where they're going to look at the numbers and make sure it's exactly what you were promised. So number 2, second tip, be very skeptical of their preferred lender. Every builder that I know of, at least the big builders, want you to use their preferred lender. Often, you're going to be heavily incentivized. They may offer you $10,000 or more in free upgrades or closing cost credit if you work with their builder or their lender. Now, why would they do that? Most likely it's because they own the lending company, or at least a part of it, or they have some kind of a financial incentive for you to use that lender, and they'll make more money. But oftentimes, the reason why they want you to use their lender is because they don't want to lower the house price. They'd rather lose money on the loan. We talked about this in the last episode, and keep the house price high, which helps them in the future with the next buyer and with appraisals. So they can take a loss on the loan, which could lead to a great deal on the loan for you, but then they can overprice the house, which could lead to a bad deal on the house for you. Another reason why they really want you to use their preferred lender is because of the appraisal shenanigans. They want appraisers that they know and trust doing the appraisal. They provide off-market comparables from their own sales to these appraisers to help them hit that value that needs to happen for you to be able to close at that higher price. So the builder's lender has that loyalty, right, to help the builder succeed on these deals. I think this is a huge disservice to you. I used to work in an office where one of the loan officers in the building was the preferred lender for a builder. And I don't think that they were purposely trying to hurt buyers, but you knew where their loyalty was. You knew that if there was ever a problem, they would try to solve it to the builder's satisfaction and make sure that builder kept sending more deals next month, right? So one of the things they would do is to circumvent the appraisal laws. We used to be able to just pick one appraiser, and they would pick one that they knew would work with the builder and get a value that was going to work. Well, now the law says you have to order your appraisal through an independent third party with a panel of at least 3 appraisers who could pick up that order. So what they've all done now is they've created their own panel of 3 appraisers who they know will appraise the value and work with the builder. And so now it doesn't matter which of those 3 appraisers gets the deal, they're all still going to work with the builder. It's kind of like they've circumvented this whole process of appraiser independence. And it's really, really unfair. You know, the purpose of an appraisal is to protect the lender and to protect you from overfunding or overpaying for a house. So be very skeptical. If you get a quote from their preferred lender, you should get a second opinion. You should find out if it is a good deal. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just a great deal and you should go with it. Sometimes it's not, and we can show you where the holes are in that deal. If you're tempted to use the builder's lender, just have your agent negotiate hard to keep those incentives and still allow you the flexibility to use the lender of your choosing. I've seen that be successful. It really depends on the builder. If they raise appraisal concerns, if they say to you, yeah, but if you use your lender, then the appraisal might come in low, you should probably agree. Yes, I'm worried that the appraisal will be padded by your lender and I'll overpay for this house. So what's wrong with a third-party independent appraiser? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Okay, and number 3, it's kind of related. I've already been talking about this, but I just want you to know you can always order your own appraisal. You don't have to only get the one from their lender. You can order an independent appraisal. They cost about $500, and they can even do the appraisal before you sign the contract and build the home. You can give the plans to an appraiser and pay him or her to tell you what the home is worth. They'll compare it to the larger market, not just the builder's other comps. And this is very common. All appraisers know how to do this kind of appraisal. It's just a plan appraisal. They do it for construction loans all the time. It'd be very easy for you to find out what's the true market value of your home, and are you overpaying if you go with that builder. Okay, so there you have it. 3 quick tips to help you succeed when you're dealing with a builder. I hope that's helpful. If you want more tips, subscribe to this podcast. I'm here to teach you. Every episode should help you on your quest to get closer and closer to home ownership. I'm also just a phone call away. It's very easy to get a hold of me, and I would love to answer your individual questions. The number is 801-923-2161. All right, thanks for listening, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Utah Homebuyers Quest podcast with Nelson Bars, your place for a strong dose of inspiration and knowledge so you can stay on top of your quest for home ownership. If you have a question or comment for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Visit homebuyersquest.com to record a voice memo or submit your question. You can also join our Facebook community to interact with experts and fellow travelers. Search Homebuyers Quest on Facebook to find the group and join the conversation. But with just a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to the next episode. And remember, we believe in home ownership and we believe in you.